Hi, I'm Brett Parker, Multimedia Specialist for National Provisioner Magazine. Today we're highlighting modern hardships for small meat processors. Here to discuss this with us is Tom Eickman, President and CEO of Eickman's Processing Company. Tom, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
What are the biggest obstacles that small meat processors face in today's market?
It always evolves, always changes. But lately, the biggest one probably for everyone has been labor. Labor has been just a huge issue, especially for small guys, because we rely on labor extensively. We tend to do a lot of different tasks, a lot of different things that we're trying to produce, and we need that labor source. And labor has probably been probably the number one on a lot of people's lists right now of an issue that we keep running into as we keep trying to move our businesses forward, keep trying to produce food and do the best quality product that we can. That labor is probably the number one. We're also seeing the inflation come into play quite a bit. Cost of raw materials, live weight cattle prices have been up at record high prices. Supply chain issues. So there's a lot of issues that come into play, but probably I would have to say labor is still probably number one across the board for almost everyone. Trying to find that good help, good workers, people that show up every day and help everyone to put out that great high quality product.
Now, in spite of their budget, are there certain methods or procedures small processors can adapt to improve their standing in the modern world?
Um, I mean, you have to separate yourself away from some of the other guys out there. And I mean, that's why I mentioned quality is one of the big ones that we can do. Now, even as we goes even to labor, the quality of how we treat our workforce, our employees. We can do some things as a small processor that some of the big places maybe don't or can't handle. But ultimately, I think just putting out a really good high quality product is still kind of the best designation. Everyone can have a pork chop, but what makes our pork chop better and different and from someone else's? So do we package it better? Is it something that we have a storyline? Do we know which farm it came off of? What are all the little aspects, those extra things that the small guys can add into it that sometimes get lost when you get into the bigger side of production?
Are there measures the USDA can take to make things better for small processors in general?
That's a tough one for me. I like it as a two-way street. And I am a big proponent of we're in this together. So USDA needs small processors. We provide places for their inspectors to be, and we need those inspectors. So I look at it as we're more of a hand-in-hand type of thing. I know I have a different perspective than a lot of people do on that. I very much enjoy I want to work with them and I want to provide a safe, high quality product, which is what ultimately I believe USDA wants to be producing is a safe, high quality product. It's that idea of we are hand in hand. We need to work together on it. Some of the time I think that gets lost. Some of the time the regulatory authority kind of goes, well, I'm here to, well, they're not here to shut us down. They're not here. They want to make sure we're producing a safe product also. So we need to kind of open up that communication a little bit. That's probably the big thing is communicate, with the inspectors, with the people in the plant. Some of the time that just, yeah, it just doesn't happen like it should. And we need to sit down, talk, have that communication. I try to do that in my plant extensively all the time. I enjoy talking to my inspector. We'll talk about various things and let's go over what the rules, what the regulations are saying, so that we're both on the same page with that. So some of the time having that communication opened up, I'm very fortunate that, like I said, I have a relatively good communication. I have I've established lines that we want to talk about things. We don't want to have the regulatory authority come down on us. It's just having some small guys though, and it is difficult as a small guy because you're doing every aspect. We're doing the HACCP plans, we're doing the merchandising, we're doing the social media, we're doing everything involved. So it's just kind of adds another thing onto that plate. We now also need to spend time and speak with our inspectors and do that. So, but it is something that I feel is a necessary thing to do. And like I said, I kind of do enjoy having conversations with inspection. When a regulation comes out, let's sit down, read it together, talk about it, discuss it. I sometimes try to, when that email hits my email box, I'm going to open it up first. Some of the time, I'm going to take it up to the inspector before it's hit his email box. Even sometimes he might be busy on the floor, but we want to have that discussion. So that's something I know I'm a little odd though but it seems to help and really open up that communication. So, and I think some of the plants that have issues, that's one of the main problems is they just don't have real good communication and any ways to have that. Um, USDA has done a wonderful job with their roundtables, coming out in the field, bringing the people that help to make the rules into place and having them available and accessible. And that's been just a great event. But at the same point, too, I look around and go, there's not a ton of small guys around at some of those meetings. So it's just having to put that as an important topic to help your plant and help your product and help kind of ease some of the tension too when an inspector's in the plant and asking about something that you're not quite sure on. So communication, I'd say, is probably number one.